It's on deck with evil dead chick. What's in store when you open the door? Step inside, my little ones. Bring your flashlight and good luck charms. Oh, and good luck charms. Oh, might get dark. It might get scary. Maybe even a little insane. Crawl out from under the bed. Don't be afraid. Evil Dead Chick is here to entertain and thrill. Dead's on deck with Evil Dead Chick. Let's hang out till the sun comes up.
All messed up.
Howdy, gang, and welcome to yet another edition of They're All Messed Up. And I forgot to turn another light on, so I'm kind of in darkness. I wish I could remember to turn this light on every time. Maybe. That plug is one of those that you kind of have to slant to plug into the wall, and I sometimes have trouble with it. Okay, so welcome to another edition of They're All Messed Up, and we're going to get to the two movies that I'm going to be talking about tonight and the kills in the movies. We're going to be talking about 7 Blood-Stained Orchids, directed by Umberto Lenzi. This is Steve's copy. He forgot he even had this on Blu-ray, and we're not going to be talking about Christmas Evil, but we're going to be talking about the second film on this disc, which is Silent Night, Bloody Night, aka Death House, I believe is another title for it. And I know, I think I have covered Silent Night, Bloody Night on Cannon Fodder. But we didn't delve into the kills so much in that. And that's what the purpose of They're All Messed Up is. So we're going to get to that here in just a little bit. But I want to get some housekeeping stuff out of the way first. Hopefully we should have a full lineup this coming week for Celluloid Trash, on which I'm going to be covering Chopping Mall and The Curse. Not The Curse 2, but The Curse. And we're going to have another edition of Horror Fandom. It's a way of life. Going to be talking about all things horror collecting. So hopefully, Chris can join me for another episode of Horror Fandom. It's a way of life. This was actually his idea to do one on horror collecting. So I'm hoping that, keeping my fingers crossed, that he's able to come on here with me. And if there's any of you other guys and gals that want to come on here with me or with us and talk about your horror collecting or any specifics about horror collecting, or if you just want to hang out in the chat and talk about it and discuss it, that is fine as well. Come one, come all, and we'll have a fun time, I hope. I'm really thinking we are, because talking about collecting of anything is pretty fun, and horror collecting in particular, I think, is a really interesting hobby. It can be an expensive hobby, but it's an interesting hobby as well, or an obsession, depending on who you ask. But I hope to have some more cannon fodder, some more They're All Messed Up, where I'm talking about Shopping Mall and The Curse. Or not Shopping Mall and The Curse, sorry about that. That's for celluloid trash, folks. But I will be talking about They're All Messed Up. I'll be talking about Sisters, directed by Brian De Palma from 1972. Hey, Gory Tiger. And So Sweet, So Dead, directed by Roberto Bianchi, also from 1972. Okay. So, got a couple of watch-alongs coming up this weekend. The watch-along for Saturday, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, will be for City of the Living Dead, a.k.a. The Gates of Hell, the Great Lucio Fulci Gore Fest. That was chosen by you guys and gals that voted in the poll. The movie for Sunday, and again, this will be the final Sunday that we have a watch-along for, unless there is a clamoring for me to keep doing Saturday and Sunday watch-alongs on the weeks that I do those. And that is because even though people are voting for a movie for Sunday, not a lot of people, if any, are showing up. So I figure maybe Sunday's not a great day, or maybe it's not the right time. You guys and gals can let me know about that, okay? But Sunday's watch-along film will be Just One of the Guys, also starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm still not sure about Friday Foolish. I have not heard from Candace all day today. I'm going to try to check in with her again. She's, been having some, I don't think she would mind me saying this. She's been having some health issues as of late. So if we don't get to do a Friday Foolish, I'll probably plug in something for you guys and gals. I don't know what that will be yet. Maybe it'll be a VHS overload or something of that sort. But I'll try to do something to fill in case we can't do Friday Foolish. And I had thought that Candace said that she should be able to, but that was before some of these other health issues had cropped up. So allow me to check with her again on that. And the first Friday in August, which I think is going to be August the 1st, we've got a couple of bad movies. It's going to be bad movie night for Evil Dead Chicks Slasher Fest. We're going to be watching Drive-In Massacre and Blood Cult. So that's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Movie Roulette is in full effect tonight because this is a live stream. And how do you play Movie Roulette? Well, all you got to do is give a $5 or more super chat, and you can pick any movie of your choosing for me to do for me to watch and do a review of on an upcoming episode of Movie Roulette. I like to try to do 2 movies, and Mental Bless His Heart, he picked It Follows. and gave a $7 super chat. Thank you again for that, sir. So if if you're itching for me to watch and do a review of any movie, um, like I said, any movie of your choosing, if you're willing to give $5 or more, heck yeah, you can pick any movie of your choosing. It can even be one I said I hate in the past. Who knows? This gal might like it this time around, or not, but it'll be fun either way. So, also want to invite you guys and gals that haven't hopped on over to deadites.com, my horror shop. Tell them Poe sent you. Poe is the official mascot of the Deadites on Deck horror shop. If you can remember my YouTube channel, you can certainly remember deaditesondeck.com being the horror shop, because my channel is called Deadites on Deck, right? So I have t-shirts, I have hats, I have tote bags, I have mouse pads, I have blended teas, I have candles, almost anything you could ask for, folks. And if you're not a horror fan, or you're a horror fan and you're like, gee, Dana, I just don't see the design that I'm wanting on a shirt or a hat or a tote bag or a mouse pad or what have you, let me know using that handy dandy form on the homepage of the shop site, and let me know what it is your heart so desires, and I will work with you to come up with an agreeable price, and I will be in touch with you. I can, create a couple of designs and show them to you and see if, which one you like best. I will work with you. If you're not a horror fan, and you would like to have you and your significant other, your kids, your grandkids, your pets, whatever, on a shirt, a hat, a tote bag, a mouse pad, fill out that form as well. And I will work with you. If you are starting a side business or starting a brand new business that you're going to be operating full time, or you have a friend or family member that you'd like to get some shirts or hats or what have you with some kind of logo on it for the business, hit me up on that form and let me know what it is. And if you want to order multiple shirts, hats, whatever, I will give you a discount on that. I am willing to work with you on that to get you whatever it is that you want. Now, there's only two types of things that I won't do. Won't do pornography, and I won't do anything illegal. Okay. So other than that, it's pretty much wide open. So just keep that in mind. And before we get to these movies, I just want to remind everybody that there are a lot of ways that you can support me in the channel, and all of them don't have to cost you money, right? And I'm going to tell you about some of these where you don't have to join the channel, you don't have to give super chats or super stickers or anything like that, right? You don't have to join my Patreon or whatever. And one of those is really, really easy. If you're liking the content or loving the content that I'm putting out and you have not subscribed, don't delay. Subscribe. I'm not going to come to your house and try to sell you some cookies or try to convert you over to some different kind of religion or something like that. No. You will just be subscribed and nobody has to know about it. All I get is numbers, really. I see the numbers go up. Generally, I do not know who's joined or who leaves, right? And so what are you waiting for? Subscribe. Tell your friends and family members to subscribe that you think might enjoy the content I'm putting out. Hit the like button on any particular videos and or streams that you particularly were fond of. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that I'm putting out. And those are all ways that help me, and they help the channel, and they help get me up in the algorithms of YouTube. And my next milestone or next goal is to get up to 1,000 subscribers, folks. And some people might say, well, gee, Dana, that's not a big deal. 1,000 subscribers, whoop-de-doo. Well, to me, it is a big deal because I've worked very hard on my channel over the past few years and would really like to see it continue to grow. So I definitely consider, 1,000 subscribers to be a milestone. I'm at 953, folks. So if you can feel it in your heart to subscribe to me, if you haven't already, I would love for you to. We got a lot of cool content on the channel, in my opinion. But that may be it. Oh, I just wanted to remind you, guys and gals, if I get to 1,000 subscribers, me and Candace are going to do some really cool cosplay for you folks, probably on a Friday Foolish. I'm going to be Cheryl from The Evil Dead, and Candace is going to be Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. So if you want to see us do that really cool cosplay, please, please, please help me get up to 1,000 subscribers. All right. So let's get to these movies, folks. So the first one is 7 Bloodstained Orchids. Again, this came out in 1972, directed by the late, great Umberto Lenzi. We had how many deaths in this film? We had a total of 8 deaths in this film. So we've got a woman stabbed to death, a woman beaten in the head with a heavy metal object, a woman strangled with a telephone cord, woman drowned in the bathtub, woman strangled in a confessional booth. And my favorite kill in the whole film, a woman has her torso drilled, a man death by hanging, and a man drowned in the pool. And this is your typical giallo type movie. There's a maniac on the loose that's killing mainly women. And he or she is known as the Half Moon Killer. And that is because when the killer kills these women, once they've killed them, they leave this half moon locket. And it's, like I said, it's a giallo, it's a mystery, a murder mystery. And this one is actually based on a classic murder mystery novel by Edgar Wallace, who also wrote King Kong. And it stars Antonio Sabato from Grand Prix and Escape from the Bronx, and Marissa Mel from Danger Diabolic. I thought this one was a pretty decent little giallo murder mystery slasher film. And, I was not bored during it. I thought I had not seen this one, but apparently me and Steve must have watched it not very long ago. Because once it got to the reveal of the killer, I was like, wait a minute, I've seen this. So apparently I must have watched it here quite recently, or, at least in the last few months. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it again. I didn't remember who the killer was. So that was good. So I was surprised by that. You've got a variety of kills. Some are kind of standard, women getting stabbed to death or women getting strangled or whatever. But like I said, the woman whose torso is drilled with a hand drill, that was probably my favorite kill and the most spectacular kill of the film. And I'm going to go ahead and give this one a rating. And although I'm not going to give it 5 deadites out of 5, I do think it's worthy of 4 deadites out of 5. Now, if you don't own this and want to watch it, I think Steve told me that it was on Tubi as well. I didn't check Tubi because I found Steve's copy, but Tubi is a very worthy resource. It's a very rich resource for all things horror movies and other kind of movies too. But Tubi is, fast becoming a horror fan's dream. If you want to watch some of these old slasher films and old Jallos and stuff like that, and old gore films, Tubi is the place to go. And it's free, albeit there are commercials, unless you have the hacked version that removes the commercials from it. But anyway, that's Seven Bloodstained Orchids. And the next one is, of course, Silent Night, Bloody Night, the second film on this disc. This is a really cheap Diamond Entertainment DVD that I got years and years ago. And at the time, I thought Silent Night, Bloody Night was Silent Night, Deadly Night. And I was a little bit disappointed. And I didn't like Silent Night, Bloody Night the first time I saw it. I thought it was boring. Like a lot of other people have said that this movie is boring. But, I waited a little while and I watched it again maybe a year or two later. And I was like, wow, I really like this. This is creepy. So I watch it now every year at Christmas time because it is a Christmas film, of course. Now, I counted every death in this one, okay? And this one, wow, it had 16 total deaths in it, okay? And it came out in 1972, directed by Theodore Gershony. So we've got a man burned to death, a man and a woman axed to death in bed. That is my favorite kill, and it's very bloody and very brutal. A woman axed to death, a man killed off screen, man's hands cut off, and then he's struck by a car. Man has broken glass shoved into his eye. 3 women and 2 men chopped up with axes and hose, garden hose, and stabbed with pitchforks. 3 men shot, one woman killed off camera. And again, that gives us a total of 16 deaths. I think this one may have had the most deaths, even though a couple of them were off-screen deaths, than any of these movies that I've talked about so far. For they're all messed up. And people are going to moan and groan because there are still a lot of people out there that do not like this movie. They absolutely do not like it. And they're going to say, dang it, you're crazy. But I'm going to give this movie 5 deadites out of 5. I have to. I have to, because watch the movie with an open mind. Don't watch it when you're tired, folks. Okay. I think that was the mistake I made the first time I watched it, was I watched it when I was tired and I kind of dozed off and woke back up and I was like, what's going on here? So watch it when you're fully awake. And I think you will be able to appreciate the creepiness of it. And that one really spectacular kill with the blood flying all over the place and the couple in bed screaming out in pain and agony. I mean, it very, very brutal scene. I think sometimes when people complain about this movie, they forget the creepy phone calls. They forget that one really spectacular kill near the beginning of the film. So definitely, if you have not seen this, I'd say check it out. I would check YouTube. I would check Tubi, places like that, the usual suspects, and see if it is on there, which, I probably could do y'all a solid, couldn't I? And see if it's on. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to just do the little trick that Steve taught me, which is looking the film up on Internet Movie Database. And a lot of times it will tell you where you can watch it. Which it took me a while to get this into my head that I could do this. And this has only got a 5.2 rating on the Internet Movie Database. I don't get it. Okay, so Fandor has it. Prime Video has it. Let's see. Screenbox, if you have a Screenbox subscription. Fawsome has it, which Fawsome is a free app. Plex TV, the Roku channel, Tubi has it. Or you can rent or buy it from Prime Video or just from Amazon on Blu-ray or DVD, it says. Okay. So there are a lot of different places that you can watch it. And I hadn't had that little signal thing came. It didn't come up this whole time until I switched to another screen, and then it came up, and then it went away again. So maybe I'm hoping the issue with that signal strength coming up is resolved. Again, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it is. But I guess that is it from me for tonight. But I want to thank Gory Tiger for hanging out in the chat with me tonight. And for those of you that popped in to see what old Dana was talking about tonight, I thank you as well. And I also want to thank those of you that will watch this on the replay. I want to thank you in advance because that's the great thing about YouTube is if you don't have time to watch these live, you can go back on my channel and you can watch them on the replay. So with all that being said, as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get out of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Thursday night, folks. It's Friday tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend, folks. And if you feel so inclined, hop on over on Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the watch-alongs for City of the Living Dead, a.k.a. The Gates of Hell on Saturday, and Just One of the Guys on Sunday. And I'll see everybody next time.